Hello everyone, welcome back. This is Arjun and we are in chapter 2 Acids, Bases and Salts chapter of your class 10. This is your lecture 5. In previous lectures, we have learnt about physical properties of acids and bases, chemical properties of acids and bases. We have covered 5 chemical properties of acids and 5 chemical properties of bases. In this lecture 5, we are going to discuss about a different topic, that is, what do all acids and bases have in common. So try to understand this concept. You see here, what do all acids and bases have in common? But till now we have studied acids are different and bases are different. Acids have sour taste, bases have bitter taste, and acids produce H plus ions, bases produce OH minus ions. Acids are so corrosive in nature, bases are not that much corrosive in nature. We can see a lot of differences between acids and bases, but today's concept is about common point of acids and bases. So let us try to understand what is a common point between acid and base. First, let us try to understand few concepts about acids. You see, we have seen that all acids have similar chemical properties. Here, point what it says. All acids. We have different types of acids. HCl, hydrochloric acid, H2SO4, sulfuric acid, HNO3, nitric acid. So we have different types of acids and all acids have similar chemical properties. Now, what leads to this similarity in property? Actually, what is the particular property means all acids generate hydrogen gas on reacting with metal. So whatever acid you take, whether hydrochloric acid, sulfuric acid, nitric acid, whatever it may be the acid, if it is reacting with any metal, that forms what? Salt, and hydrogen gas is produced. So hydrogen gas is common point, is a particular chemical property of all acids. Next, by this what we can conclude? So hydrogen gas seems to be common to all acids. That is the common point of all acids. And another point you can observe, all acids have H plus ions in common. So if they ask you, what is the common point in all acids? You can say all acids produce H plus ions when it is added to water. Next, acids produce H plus ions in solution, which are responsible for their acidic properties. Very important point to be noted. When you add acid to water, automatically when acid is added to water, it produces H plus ions. So keep in your mind, acids produce H plus ions only in presence of water. It will not produce H plus ions in absence of water. Next, moving to next slide, we have this experiment in your textbook. I'll try to explain this one. So first, you need to take beaker, empty beaker, take one rubber cork, mount 2 nails, iron nails to that. Here, these 2 iron nails act as electrode. You know what is electrode? Positive terminal and negative terminal known as electrode. And we know positive terminal is known as anode and negative terminal is known as cathode. Right? Now, take one empty beaker, arrange one rubber cork in that, mount 2 iron nails such that one iron nail acts as positive terminal, another iron nail acts as negative terminal, and connect to one battery. This is negative terminal, this is positive terminal. Hence, positive terminal is connected to this iron nail, This iron acts as positive terminal and negative terminal is connected to this iron it acts as negative. Next, connect this arrangement to one small bulb and key switch. Now, if you open the switch, it becomes open circuit. If you insert the key, it becomes closed circuit. Okay. Now, what we have to do is first try to add distilled water in that. We know distilled water is bad conductor of electricity. Why it is bad conductor of electricity? Quite simple. The distilled water doesn't contain any ions. Here, ions are responsible for electricity. Try to remember this. So, ions are responsible for conducting electricity in a solution. Now, you can add one pinch of salt to that distilled water. Now you can observe bulb glows. Why? Because after adding salt, we will be adding a common salt, that is NaCl. If you observe your 8th class chemical properties chapter, chemical properties of electric current, if you observe, we will get this experiment. After adding NaCl to water, automatically NaCl splits into Na plus and Cl minus. Those two are ions. I told you ions are responsible for electricity. Because of salt, it conducts electricity. Next, remove distilled water, add number 1 hydrochloric acid. Try to add hydrochloric acid and you can observe the bulb. Bulb instantly glows. Why? Because here one thing you have to remember, you may ask me, if we add acid to it, here we took iron nails and you told me acid plus metal gives rise to salt plus hydrogen gas. So in that cases, what you can do is, instead of iron nail, you can choose carbon rod or graphite rod. You can choose 2 carbon rods while you are adding concentrated acid. If you wanna use dilute acid, you can go with nails. No issues with that. Now, first add hydrochloric acid, or else what you can do is take a beaker, arrange that one and add water to that, add few drops of acid. After adding acid, you can observe bulb instantly glows. Why it glows? I told you, whenever there are ions, automatically leads to electricity. If you observe that HCl, when HCl is added to water, that splits into H plus and Cl minus ions. Hydrochloric acid splits to H plus ions and Cl minus ions. So automatically ions are present. It conducts electricity. Again, remove that water. Again, add some amount of water to that. Add number 2, sulfuric acid. If you add sulfuric acid, what can you observe? You can observe bulb glows. Why it glows? When you add sulfuric acid to water, automatically this splits into H plus ions and SO4 minus ions. Again we got plus and negative, minus. So we have cation and anion. Because of presence of ions, automatically acids conduct electricity. Okay, repeat this experiment with number 3, sodium hydroxide. If you add sodium hydroxide, that is base, isn't it? After adding sodium hydroxide, what happens? Yes, that solution also conducts electricity. Why? After adding sodium hydroxide splits into Na plus and OH minus. Again we have cation and anion. So because of presence of ions, base sodium hydroxide conducts electricity. And repeat that experiment with number 4, calcium hydroxide. You know now how it splits. Splits into Ca plus OH minus. Ions are present. Ions are responsible for electricity. So by this what we can conclude? Acidic solutions and basic solutions. Both solutions conduct electricity. And whether it may be concentrated acid, dilute acid, it conducts electricity, and bases also conduct electricity. Now try to repeat this experiment with number 5, glucose. If you observe chemical formula of glucose, C6H12O6. If you add glucose, or number 6, if you add alcohol, chemical formula of alcohol is CH3CH2OH. If you add and try to observe the bulb, in this case bulb doesn't glow, because of course glucose and alcohol contain hydrogen atoms in that. You can observe glucose C6H12O6, we have 12 hydrogen atoms. And while coming to alcohol, here 3 hydrogens, 2 hydrogens and 1 hydrogen, total 6 hydrogens we have, but all those hydrogens are strongly bonded with other atoms. In glucose, hydrogen atoms are bonded with carbon and oxygen atoms, while coming to alcohol, hydrogens are bonded with carbon atoms. Here, in case of acids and bases, ions will dissociate, means it will split. Dissociate in the sense it will come out. Bonds will be loose. Clear? So acids and bases, easily it will dissociate. When acid is added to water, H plus ions dissociate. When bases are added to water, OH minus ions dissociate. But when glucose and alcohol added to water, hydrogen atoms cannot dissociate. Because of not dissociation, it will not conduct electricity. So by this what we can conclude? Acids conduct electricity, bases conduct electricity, but while coming to glucose and alcohol, though they have hydrogen atoms, that doesn't conduct electricity. So that is a concept you need to understand from this. Moving to next concept. Till now we have discussed about acids. Now while coming to bases, we can observe those points. All bases have OH minus ions in common, and we have studied H plus ions are known as hydronium ions, while coming to OH minus, it is known as hydroxyl ions. Now second point, bases produce OH minus ions in solution, which are responsible for their basic properties. Now take one beaker of water, add 1 or 2 pellets of bases in that. Automatically that will produce OH minus ions in that, and because of production of OH minus ions, we are considering it as bases, and that is responsible for basic property. And by this what we can conclude? All acids produce OH minus ions, all bases produce OH minus ions, and one conclusion we have to draw from that: acids are good conductors of electricity, strong bases conduct electricity easily than weak base. Okay, moving to next concept. What happens to an acid or a base solution in water? So what happens when you add acid to water? What happens when you add base to water? Let us discuss that. Hydrogen ions in HCl are produced in presence of water. So whenever HCl is added to water, H plus ions are produced. I told you it will show it will produce H plus ions only in presence of water. Next, acids produce H plus ions only in presence of water, and the separation of H plus ions from HCl molecule cannot occur in the absence of water. If there is water, there will be H plus ions. If there is no water, there will be no H plus ions. So by this what we can say? H plus ions cannot exist alone, and they exist as H3O plus, that is hydronium. So how come this H3O plus? You can observe that equation. When HCl added to H2O, this hydrogen combines with this H2, so H2 plus H. So simply to say, it is H1, isn't it? It becomes H3. So when hydrogen is reacting with, combining with H2O, automatically it becomes H3O plus, it is an ion, plus chlorine is separated as Cl minus, you can observe here. Then let us try to understand this. So when HCl is added to water, automatically H3O plus ion is formed and Cl minus ion is formed. So we have positive ion, negative ion. What we have to call positive ion and what we have to call negative ion? So you may get some confusion. Cathode, anode, cation, anion. So no need to have that confusion. I'll clarify it. You see, negative terminal is known as cathode and positive terminal is known as anode. Now, what is cation, anion? It is so simple. Negative, always positive charges will be attracted to negative, isn't it? Now, if you find any ion, for example X plus, it is attracted to cathode. So let us call it as cation. Clear? So cations attracted to cathode. And if you have some X element with minus, for example Cl minus, so Cl minus is attracted to anode, call it as anion. So now I think so it is clear. Positive ion and negative ion. Positive ion we have to call it as cation. Negative ion we have to call it as anion. Now this H plus ions, I told you, from HCl H plus ions, water is H2O. When H plus and H2O combines together, we will get H3O plus ion. So H3O plus or H plus known as hydronium ion. So don't get confused. Right. So till now we have seen what happens when acid is dissolved in water. So what happens when acid is dissolved in water? When acid is added to water, it produces H plus ion. Right. So till now we have seen what happens when acid is dissolved in water. What happens when acid is dissolved in water? It's simple. When acid is dissolved in water, it produces H plus ions. So acids produce H plus ions only in presence of water. Now let us see what happens when a base is dissolved in water. You see, when base is dissolved in water, it gives OH minus ions. You can see three examples there. NaOH. NaOH stands for sodium hydroxide. Here you can observe there is representation S. S stands for solid. I told you in previous lecture, all these bases will be obtained in form of solids. So you have to represent S. Gives rise to here. When bases are added to water, H2O, automatically splits into ions. You can observe NaOH splits into Na plus OH minus. Here there is a representation AQ. AQ stands for aqueous. And we have learnt what is meant by aqueous. It is quite simple. You take beaker with some amount of water in it. What you have to represent that H2O? H2O you have to represent like H2O, L. L stands for liquid. Now consider you have added one drop of acid to it. Now it becomes acidic solution. If you add one pellet of base, it becomes basic solution. If you add salt to it, it becomes salt solution. Such a type of mixtures are known as aqueous. Now this Na plus and OH minus ions are produced only in presence of water. That also these are part of acids and bases, so we have to represent it as AQ. Now potassium hydroxide, if it is dissolved in water, mixes with water, it produces K plus and OH minus. Magnesium hydroxide, magnesium plus OH minus. So by this what we can conclude? Bases generate hydroxide OH minus ions in water, and we have one special word, that is alkali. What is meant by alkali? Bases which are soluble in water are called alkalis. They may ask you for 1 mark or 2 mark question. What is meant by alkali? Give 2 examples of that. You can say all these examples. Moving to next concept. Now we have identified that all acids generate H plus ions and all bases generate OH minus ions. Now we can view the neutralization reaction as follows. If you see this series, I have uploaded one video regarding how to identify acids, bases and salts. In that video clearly I have mentioned what is HX, what is MOX, what is MX and what is HOH. So if you didn't watch that video, go there, watch that video and try to know how to identify acids, bases and salts, and come back again and you can understand this concept. Now we know H plus, acid produces H plus ions, and X, bases contain 2 parts. First part is metal, second part is hydroxide. Salt contains 2 parts, first one metal, second one X compound, and water we know H2O. And go and watch that video. Why acid is represented as HX, why bases we need to represent as MOH, why salts are represented as MX, why HOH is water, and easily you can get that concept, and this concept is cleared in that video. Moving to next one. Let us see what is involved when water is mixed with an acid or base. This is the clipping from your textbook, and from this what we can get. You see, while diluting acids, it is recommended that acid should be added to water and not water to acid, because the process of dissolving an acid or a base in water is highly exothermic. There is a question and very important concept in your 10th. What will you do if you want to dilute an acid? Will you add water to acid or acid to water? That is the concept we have to learn. You see 2 diagrams. This first diagram is representing addition of water to acid. Second diagram is giving information about addition of acid to water. Now, which one is correct? Basically, the second one is correct, first one is wrong. Why? Now, if you add water to acid, automatically some amount of heat energy is generated. Because of that heat energy, it may cause the mixture to splash out. So this acidic solution will splashes out, and that may fall on our skin, which causes burning sensation, and it damages all skin tissues. At the same time, that glass container may also break. So it is not recommended for you to add water to acid, and it releases high amount of heat energy. That's what we call exothermic reaction. Now, you see this acid. We need to take a beaker with some amount of water in it and try to add acid drop by drop. Why we have to add acid drop by drop? You see, that is water. Water acts as coolant. When you are adding acid to water, of course, acid to water or water to acid, both are exothermic in nature, means releases heat energy. When you are adding acid drop by drop to water, that water absorbs total heat energy, and all total heat energy will be absorbed, and there will be no splashing of acid out, and there will be no excessive local heating, and there is no breakage of the glass container. So always it is recommended to add acid to water, that is also drop by drop. Now let us move to last concept in this video, mixing an acid or base with H2O. So mixing acid or base with H2O results in decrease of concentration of ions. So it is quite simple. Whenever acid is added to water or base is added to water, it is known as dilution. So diluted acid. What happens if you dilute an acid or if dilute a base? That leads to decrease of concentration. So try to understand this one. Take beaker, add 1 liter of water to it. So how much amount of water we have added? 1 liter. Now add few drops of acid to it. After adding acid, we know total water will be mixed with H plus ions. Now consider we have added 2 to 3 drops of acid to it. Consider 1 liter of water contains 10 H plus ions. 10 H plus ions. Of course, that is not actual count, it is rough count. Consider there are 10 H plus ions. Now, what you have to do? Again, you have to add water. Try to add some amount of water to it. Consider we have added extra liter of water. Now, what is the total amount of water? 2 liters. Now, is there any change in H plus ions? No, there is no change in H plus ions. Previously, 1 liter of water contains 10 H plus ions. Now, after adding water, 2 liters of water contain 10 H plus ions only. Now you can observe concentration of H plus ion gradually reduced, percentage of H plus ions reduced, ratio of H plus ions reduced. We can say it is diluted. So by this what we can say? If you add more amount of water to that, less amount of H plus ions. So concentration will be reduced, and that process is known as dilution. So in this lecture we have discussed about what is the common between acids and bases, H plus ions and OH minus ions. Acids and bases conduct electricity because dissociation of ions. Acid produces H plus ions only in presence of water. Bases produce H plus ions in presence of water. And we have seen diluted and concentrated, and we have learnt about dilution, what to add, acid to water or water to acid, and at last we have seen dilution concept, and at last we have learnt dilution. So if you add acid to water, it becomes acidic solution. Again, if you add more amount of water to it, H plus ion concentration decreases, or OH minus ion concentration decreases. So that is the concepts we have covered today. In our next lecture, we are going to see new concept. So guys, if you like this video, just share it. Thank you. Have a nice day.